Welcome to Professor Bets. I'm just going to be going over my basic week one picks. I will do a props video as well, but these are just my teams betting here. And I'm going to do this every single NFL week, and we're going to keep track of the progress we've made. So as you see here, I have two teams that are in red. That's for a reason. The Bucs and the 49ers are my two locks for the week. If you bet on both of them in a two-way parlay, if you bet $100, you're probably going to make like 19. But I like to call that a savings account move, because what you're doing is you're taking a very, very safe bet. It's not as bright and flashy as you'd like, but you're making an easy $19. You get out of there. If you just want to start off with that, if you bet preseason, had a rough preseason, or you're just really shy into betting at all, you don't want to lose any of your money, I like that. I don't like to lose. So I like to go ahead and put the Bucs, 49ers, put $100 on it, take an extra 20, get out of there with a little bit of extra cash. All right, so now that we got through there, we got the Bucs. They'll be playing the Cowboys. It's our Thursday night, and all you have to say about this is that the Bucs are going to be returning all of their starters. Each side of the ball, they're playing the Cowboys. Not so sure about Dak's health, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think it matters. I think regardless of Dak's health, that's a pretty easy win for the Bucs there. I'm feeling very strong about that. I do not like the secondary of the Cowboys at all. Then we have the Falcons. The Falcons are playing the Eagles, and this is a great time to go ahead and bring up my loser circle over here. I always find it very, very hard to figure out who's going to be the best team in the league. I cannot tell you, the Chiefs could have an injury to Patrick Mahomes and go 9-8, I believe, with the new season, with the 17-game season there. So they could go 9-8. Something could happen to one of the better teams that we think are going to be better, and they get worse. It's much harder for a team like the Texans, the Jags, the Jets, the Eagles, the Bengals, and the Lions. Teams are at the bottom. It's not as easy to go up as it is to go down here. So we went ahead and made a list of our teams, of the worst teams in the league. If anybody on this list, minus the Vikings, play anybody not on that list, for example here, I would not bet the Texans and the Jaguars. They play together week one. I'm not betting it, staying off of it. But we have here as well the Eagles playing the Falcons. The Falcons are not on the list. The Eagles are on that list, so I'm betting against the Eagles. I have the Bucs plus the Falcons. Win a little bit of extra money there. Very, very safe bet there. Next, though, is my safest bet. We have the 49ers. 49ers are going to be playing the Lions. Like I said, cakewalk. New coach. I don't think it matters who the 49ers start as quarterback. I know there's a big hoopla for the preseason, but we're not worried about it. They're going to win regardless here. So just easy take, 49ers over the Lions. Then we have the Panthers versus the Jets. This is the thing, I'm not so sure what I'm going to get from the Panthers, but they have a good coach. Their team isn't that poor. I'm going to go ahead and put them to beat the Jets, and that should be just an easy, make some money. That's probably my safest bet of the week right there. Next, we have the Rams, and we're getting a little riskier here. The Rams versus the Bears, but here's the thing. The Bears' offensive line is bad, and they're probably going to start Andy Dalton week one, so I do not see that working out well. That's a hard draw for week one for the Bears. You get the Rams, you get Aaron Donald and that vicious D-line. They're going to beat the Bears. It's going to be a pretty easy game. The Bears aren't going to look good. Next, we have the Ravens. The Ravens will be playing the Raiders. And I'm picking this more because of the consistency and the solidness. Lamar Jackson has won 80% of his games. So if you ask me to tell you, if I look at the Ravens' schedule and pick the games that they're going to lose, I'm probably picking if they play, when they play the Cleveland Browns, they're going to lose those kinds of games. I don't see them losing to the Raiders. The Raiders also got rid of a lot of old but very, very good offensive linemen. Youth and offensive linemen makes me a little bit nervous. So I just want to see how they do. I don't trust them. Ravens are a safe bet here. Okay, and for our last two-way parlay here, we have the Falcons playing once again the Eagles. That's the same bet as up here, but I'm feeling really good about that. I did not like the Eagles at all. The Eagles had a very thin roster, and on top of that, I'm not so sure I trust their really old defensive line and their offensive line. The coach gave me no confidence whatsoever. The Falcons were 0-7 in one-possession games last year. That happening 2 years in a row is a crazy thing, so they're going to have a win or two more than they did last season, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and put them above. We have the Falcons once again beat the Eagles, and then we have our Vikings here versus Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this is going to make you the most money on a bet here, the Falcons and the Vikings. But the Vikings are on my list, but they have the question mark by them. And the reason for that is I just need to see more of their offensive line. I'm nervous. I don't think they're going to be good. They made the very bottom of the list. But in here, I'm going to trust them. It's going to be my trust for the week. This is the one that's the riskiest right here. These other ones are pretty much locked. I'm feeling very good about them. Risky right here, but they're going to be playing the Bengals. Joe Burrow, we've heard all preseason, lifting his legs. We don't like that. We don't want a quarterback, definitely with the O-line that they have, we don't want a quarterback who's having some scares after an injury last season, a bad one, by the way. But hopefully he gets better. We hope he has a healthy season. We're not hoping that anybody gets hurt this season. So Joe Burrow, I don't think he pulls it off week 1. I think the Vikings go ahead and get that win. And as you see here for the bottom, we have our 3-way parlay. Now, most likely, there will usually not be this many teams that I'm comfortable about week to week. But I feel very comfortable about week 1. A lot of good bets here. So I went ahead, and each time I'll put together what I can. Maybe there's 2 bets, but there will be 1 3-way parlay each week. It's a little bit more of a risk to bet a 3-way parlay versus a 2. That's 3 games that I'm guessing going right. But this week, we substituted that issue. We kind of counterbalanced that issue with putting our 2 locks down there, plus the Rams, who I feel very, very good about winning. That's one of those things I put a lot of money on here. So we have the Bucks, the 49ers, and the Rams to go ahead and win there. And this is going to be our projected total of winnings for the week. Now, like I said, risky bet here. But a lot of these I can go ahead and tell you, they're going to be pretty easy to call here. This is a lot of good games this week, a lot of games I can see. You can start this with $100. If $100, do 20, 20, 20, 20, and 20. And you're going to come out at the end of this, you're going to have $180, $200. I'm not sure exactly what the numbers would add up for you there. But you can do 20 dollar bets all the way through and still make really good money. That's a great way to kick it off for this season. So if you're thinking about that, you're like, I don't know, put $100 in there. Let's win you $80 this week, and I'm sure you'll be back next week.